Hello everyone, I'm Bishi, and today we are playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are back. I haven't played this for about a month, but we're starting off with a new case, so there shouldn't be anything I'm like missing or anything like that. Should be pretty good to go. But yeah, I've got the game pulled up over here, ready to go, and we'll be hopping into episode 3 today. I'm still really early on in this game, still barely started, but I'm really excited to get back to it. I've been missing this game, so we're gonna be playing this for, I think, this week and next week, and then maybe after that I'll try to finish Crisis Core, but I missed Ace Attorney very badly, so I had to come back. But anyway, let's do it! Okay, episode 3, let's do it. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. Yeah, The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
So yeah, it feels like all those little shorts are like after the case we're about to do.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay. And welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
London! We're in London, blokes! God. Oh, birds. Alright, we're in it! We are in the video game. I'm so glad that not all of the dialogue is typed out like that. I really thought that I'd have to listen to the typewriter every time there was dialogue, and I was like, no, this is not possible. Oh my god. Alright. Welcome in, Dan. Howdy. Let's see. Time for How I Became a Lawyer in Less Than a Year. Right, yes. Almost forgot about that. So Ryu has committed to becoming a lawyer in less than a year. So I guess we'll see how he's coming along. I don't remember what date it was when we left off, but now it's the 18th of February, apparently. We'll see. Yep, new case. Ripasogi, I know, yeah, it was such a sad case. I was so upset because I already loved the character immediately when he was introduced, and then they just ripped him from me immediately. That's him in his mind palace while playing the violin, exactly. Love their outfits, especially Susato's. Why are they British? I guess everyone's just British. Our protagonists are excited for trains. They love the trains. I pronounce some words in British because I learned them phonetically. Oh, well, there you go. I remember even I would confuse a lot of, at least for spellings, I would confuse the British version with the US version all the time when I would write like papers and stuff like that. It took a while for me to separate them. So much British. Let's try to guess the name of the guy whose office this is. Cogsworth, Gearsley, Clockley, Man, Minuteman. Oh, all right. 18th of February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. What an incredible place. It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course, but they've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, and in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time if circumstances were different. We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. But Kazuma can't. No. So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we would have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as the law student selected for the study tour. Yes, I remembered this. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer, which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Me too. Ah, good morning. Sorry for keeping you. I should probably do a British accent, my bad. Hello? Oh, I know for a fact, immediately, I know nothing about this man. I know not a single thing. I already know people call him daddy. I already know. Look at him. Look at him. People call this man Clock Daddy, don't they? Don't they? Gear Daddy. Something like that. Clock. Puppy. No! Not Claddy. Oh, no. 60% love with Gear Daddy. No. Oh my god. Okay, who is this man? I don't know what voice to give him. Oh. I don't know what to do. He has to sound British. I feel like all the British people are going to sound pretty similar because they're just going to be British accents. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. Seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh, no, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. Ugh, and I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. Strongheart, okay. Strongheart Tassino. He refuses to be memed. You can't meme this name. It's like too epic of a name. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Ah, yes, thank you. Alright, so we can talk to him. Let's look around if we can. Look at these menacing metal giants facing each other across the room. There's her little book. I believe they're suits of armor. Oh, right. I thought maybe they were like the lion dogs we have in Japan guarding shrine gates. No, not at all. In fact, in Europe, suits of armor like these are always possessed by evil spirits, you know? And they roam around in the middle of the night. Really? Is there nothing you don't know, Miss Susato? This book tells me everything I need to know about everything. If you're ever unsure, just ask. Where did she get that incredible tome? She's just making it up. There's nothing in the book. Okay. Just look at all the naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling. Now, what does that mean again? Is it just like gnarled? Just full of knots? Why would a book be full of knots? It can also be extremely difficult or intricate. Maybe that's what it's saying? I don't know. It's an odd word. Those books have been very, very bad. They are naughty, naughty. I've never heard a book described as naughty before. Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I know what this word means, but it just is weird. Old and rough, okay. Just... Oh... Man. Extremely complex, okay. Something like that. Like, I got the gist of what it's saying, but it's, like, just odd to see it. Let me catch up with y'all real quick. Nod sadly. Clockasy. That's right. No. No. Jeez. Blockman. Oh, they changed his name from the fan translations, and it's throwing me off. So the fan sub name was Lord Heart Vortex. Huh. But it's Strongheart. Interesting. He did it. He the murderer. Murderer. My god. Alright. We can keep going. Alright. Look at all of these very naughty books packed together on these shelves. They go from floor to ceiling. And they're all books that you couldn't hope to come by in Japan. It's like a dream. Yes, a very bad dream. They're not all about British law either. There are books about the judicial systems of other Western nations. France, Germany, Spain, Holland. What about Russia? Why do you ask? I was wondering about asking the Lord Chief Justice how you say wardrobe in Russian. What do you think? I think perhaps it's a thought best abandoned. What else is there? Look up here. Is this some kind of clock? Actually, I think we might be inside some sort of giant clock. Yeah, are we in Big Ben, maybe? But those gears are larger than anything you'd find on a steam locomotive, even. It's eerie. Do you think clocks are some sort of hobby of his? The Lord Chief Justice, I mean. Well, boys do enjoy fiddling around with machines, don't they? I'm not sure you could fiddle with cogs that size, and I'm certain you couldn't call him a boy. Still, it's amazing how little noise the cogs make, considering how large they are. There's actually something quite soothing about their precise rhythm. Well, there you go. He's like, actually, they're kind of cool. I want some. Okay, so we can also look here. This must be the Lord Chief Justice's desk. I believe it's made of marble. It looks more like an over-the-top tombstone that's toppled over to me. I think that's your fanciful imagination at work again, Mr. Naruhodo. It feels like everything that's normally made of wood and paper at home is made of bricks and stone here. I know. That's why this place feels so overbearing, I'm sure. Alright, we can also... Oh, I have an armband. Yeah, how do I do that? There we go. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything over there. Or here. Okay. I think that's it for looking. Yeah, we could look at the court record. What was that? It's an armband I inherited from Kazuma. It identifies the wearer as a defense lawyer throughout the Empire of Japan. These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of the defense, aren't they? Yes, that's right. The scales are a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law, and they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom without an impartial mind. But if they're the mark of the defense, it would be more auspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think. Very impartial, I'm sure. Good job at not being impartial at all. Oh, it has his name. The lawyer's name is embroidered on the inside here, look. Kazuma Asogi. This was his band, of course. He had his heart set on this study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. But he lost his life before he even had the chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at this armband, though. Man. Alright, I think that's it. Asogi! I know! Asogi! Badly done studies on wolf packs have ruined society in a lot of ways. We live in a society and it's the wolves' fault. No, I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. I don't know how we got on the topic of wolves. I think I saw wolves mentioned somewhere in chat, but I didn't see it really. Bishi, how dare you? You didn't have to examine that armband. I have to look at everything, okay? I have to look at everything. I'm sorry. Let me see where I left off. I read wolf from your comment, and at first I thought you were talking about me. Yeah, wolf in chat has ruined society. Single-handedly. I was about to say something so offhanded. Oh no. Ruben's like, I'm not gonna say it. Alright. Converse. London. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, well, help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of some of London's streets from the carriage on the way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded. Oh yes, astounded is the word. Thanks for saving me there, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we will be hosting here in London. Great exhibition? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set in our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. A law student. We did it. We found a way to make the showing off your badge into a sad thing. Man. The more I look at Strongheart, the more I think he's a murderer. That stare screams murderer. I wonder if he's a red herring. Like, they make him seem really intimidating, but he's actually very sweet. Who knows? Probably not. He's like an RPG mastermind that you fight just before fighting the final boss god. He has that vibe. Yeah, he kind of has like even final boss vibes to me. The more I look at Strongheart, the more I focus on his bobbies. You can't even see them. What do you mean? Vigor is a side effect of gigantic soothing cogs. You'll need Jesus. No, they need bobbies. He has the pigeons trained to fly when he does the arm gesture. Spent so many hours on it, my god. So extra. Law student. Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Asogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news? Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person. They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed. If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart. What do you have to say, madam? It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, this is it then. The moment of truth. Oh, alright. I guess we'll save. You never know! You never know. Envoys. Okay, envoys. Continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead. Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead, but without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asogi. At least, that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo, get your shit together! I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I going to say? You're gonna make me pick? If there is someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's... Actually, there's no one! It's Miss Susato. It's me! It's you, dummy! It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer? I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. I had Kazuma to help me. And I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burya. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, Not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on this study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please. 31 seconds. Sorry? Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Oh, thanks. Good stead? Good steed, yeah. Too many words I don't know how to say. So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path? Well, yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Or did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Test. So, what form will the test take exactly? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well, defending people, of course. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Huh? Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be a welcome news. Today? Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? Ugh, how do I get myself into these situations? You said anything! Well, can I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart? Yes, good question. Ah, I remember. It's a murder trial. It's always a murder trial! Are you kidding? It's always murder! Like, I mean, I guess there was like a phantom thief case. I'm sure somebody died. I'm sure someone was killed. There's always murder. It wouldn't be Ace Attorney without the murder. A murder? An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably, you read that much in your short sea-based introduction to British law. We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? He's the Lord Chief Justice. Apparently he can do whatever he wants. There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose. So, the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. You want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? No, let's go home. I'll do it, of course. Hey, PC Man, welcome in. Howdy. Lost track of time. No worries. Don't worry about it. Welcome in. The more I look at him, the more he becomes a Final Fantasy character. Yeah. He's got the dramatic hair for it, I think. You're not making yourself look good, Ryu. Just lie, man. I know, right? I'm like, why isn't he just making things up? Just be like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. I want to do this. If Susato was allowed to curse, she should. Do you want me to ruin this character for you? He has Larry's hair. Does he? Imagine if this is like Larry's ancestor. That would be... No. No. Like the bloodline just like got really watered down. Oh. I wish being a lawyer was this easy. Yeah, just hey, just go into court and try it. We'll see how you do. Special certification, yes, very special. Imagine last minute being told you're being defended by a guy who just got here who had 50 days to learn lawyering. Right, like, that's terrible. Yeah, right, that's the one I was talking about, the Phantom Thief one with Ron. That was theft turned into a different murder case. Right, so like, murder happened eventually. As it always does. Imagine being a defendant in a homicide trial and the pro bono lawyer assigned to you took a crash course in law on the bus to the courthouse. That's what's going on here. Oh, no. Terrible. When I googled Larry Butts, a whole bunch of old white men showed up with that exact name. They're real. They're out there. The Butts. But from the front. Yeah, even from the front. I don't know. I'll have to look at it again. Okay, I'll do it. I volunteer. All right then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is I can't do it. I can't get the words out. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry? You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. Man. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. I said yes! Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Wow, just like that. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but what could I do? It's all right. I understand. You do? It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it. What are you trying to say, madam? I think what Miss Susato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from there. From here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What? At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. So he's his last resort anyway. He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down. But that's awful. But that is the truth. Why does it have to be like this? Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. I'm really his only hope? So, what do you say now, madam? Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Oh. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. Did we do it? I'm like, that was a lot of words. Are we doing this? He's gone. The Old Bailey. Okay, I'm gonna take some notes now. I feel like we've done a lot and I haven't taken my notes properly. Here it is. Alright, so we have this man accused of murder. Has no one to defend him. Okay. Notes time, yeah. It'll be a little bit faster now that I type it out. Let me see. The Larrys are lurking. All of the Larry butts in the world. Larithy Buttocks. His 1800s name. Lawrence Bartholomew Butts Aplenty. The third Esquire. Larry is secretly rich. Esquire is a term of endearment towards a lawyer in the 1800s. Really? I did not know that. Is Ryu our Esquire? Maybe. Maybe. Typing, what happened to the notebook? I know, I basically retired the notebook because it was always kind of hard to find the note I needed, especially with my terrible handwriting, and just, I write things like all over the place, so I decided to start typing them. I'm a little sad because I have a notebook specifically for Ace Attorney that I'm not using anymore, but it's alright. Okay, if we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Okay, converse? What to do? Let me just see what she says. Miss Susato, can I just ask you something? Careful. From this position, I can perform a Susato takedown in an instant. I know. Mr. Naruhodo, you heard Lord Strongheart. The trial starts imminently. If I need to throw you, I will. You know, you could just say, I think we should hurry to the courtroom. If you need to ask me anything, it had better wait until we're at the Old Bailey. Alright, let's do it. Let's move! The Old Bailey, London's highest criminal court with an illustrious past, the Old Bailey. This is where I'm to take my test and prove my worthiness as a lawyer. Oh god. 18th February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Also, I have to say, I'm doing my best to do a good British accent, but it's so hard to switch between doing the British accent and back to English, back to British, back to English. But I don't want to make them all sound British, you know? So I'm doing my best. Oh, thank goodness. We're in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. That's a terrifying thought. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Do you ever just try to Command F in real life, like when you're reading a textbook or something? I definitely try to Control Z. I definitely try to undo when I'm actually drawing sometimes. All the time, it's embarrassing. By the 16 or 1700s, esquire was a common term for any gentleman, instead of a specific feudal rank. By the Victorian period, lawyers used esquire after their names, like doctors used doctor before their names. Oh. In this period, lawyers pretty much always belonged to the gentleman class. Makes sense. Probably got a lot of money. They couldn't call it a lobby back then. No, it has to be antechamber. It has to be all dramatic. Do we even know the details of the case? We know literally nothing. We just know there's a person who may have murdered somebody, and we gotta prove them not guilty. We gotta prove that they didn't murder somebody. That's it. Somebody died. That's all we know. Even Nick got details before a trial. Poor Ryu. I know, we're just going in completely not knowing a single thing. Well, maybe they'll tell us something right before we go in. We gotta keep going. I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. Maybe he's really tiny. Maybe we're representing Stuart Little. So, this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever's about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Oh my god. Top of the morning to you, madam, sir! It's Jacksepticeye! Holy shit! Oh! Yeah, it's Jacksepticeye! Look, it looks just like him! I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm gonna do this accent, but it's not gonna be good. I'm just telling you now. What are yous doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces? From the East, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving yous 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Miss Susato, you don't have to shout. Just take the money. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I've enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Oh! That hit me in the eye! Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up. Well, here's the thing. If he has so much money to pay his lawyer, why is nobody representing him? Why won't anybody take the job? I bet she's about to ask that. She's like, so what's wrong with you? That nobody wants to help you. We're helping like a combination of Rumpelstiltskin and Ebenezer Scrooge. Oh, he's got Doug Dimmadome levels of hat height. A man died. A man died. Somebody died. It happens. It happens. Stuart Little killed Raddington Cheeseworth of Cheddar Ham III. Top of the morning to you, laddies. My name's Jacksepticeye, and today we're back to being tried for murder. Doug Dimmadome? Of the Dimsdale Dimmadome? Yes, Doug Dimmadome of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. Jacksepticeye of the Septic Eye and Jack. That one didn't work. His money's all under his hat. Oh, the penguin too. Okay, so the penguin, Rumpelstiltskin, Scrooge, and Jacksepticeye. He's all four of those in one. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Luster and blazes! Do yous not know who I am? Me! One of London's biggest names! No, sorry. We've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? It is called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London? A city of smiles. That's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its square old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now they've the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Breathes in Irish. Oh. And Lucky Charms mascot. Okay, so the penguin, Rumpelstiltskin, Scrooge, Jacksepticeye, and the Lucky Charms. Nightmare blunt rotation. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Let alone, I wouldn't even want to be in the same room. I wouldn't even want to be in the same room as all of us. Jacksepticeye, sure. Everyone else, not really. I like Jacksepticeye. I haven't watched him in a long time, but I follow him, you know? I think he's pretty cool. The accent is slowly getting better. I am not gonna guarantee it's gonna be good ever. I'm just doing my best, that's it. Oh, okay. Alright. Don't pass out. Mr. Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath. Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft idiot? Huh? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry? I know what you're thinking, or taking. This chancer of a fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, I mean, I can't deny my brain was going there. Well, exactly. Not at all. I like how his face is completely covered and the only thing you can see is his hat because of these boxes. His name is McGilded. Jail. Yeah. McDonald's, McGilded. Say oil instead of aisle. Flawless Irish accent. I don't know. Don't say we're just students. Surely that will give the man on trial confidence, right? You heard the confession. Lock him up! And throw away the key. Not at all. Not at all. Although, it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean. That would be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry? Did he just say Reaper? Aye. The Grim Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Beric Van Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor? Is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached the desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. Goodness. Lord Beric Van Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor, then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin. Oh, sweet God. He didn't tell me anything useful. He just said, I'm rich. Help me. Oh. Hey, Caramel. Howdy. I'm so close to living my dream of living in a van down by the river. Time for Bishi's German accent. Oh, is he supposed to be German? I don't know if he's supposed to be German, but it's a cool name anyway. I think Van is German or Dutch. I don't know. I don't know if I can do a German accent. I can try. Ugh. I feel like all my accents are just so terrible. The defendant is summoned. Von is German. And Van is Dutch. I think Beric is still British as a character. So just give him a British accent. Okay. I'd rather do that because I don't think I can do German. I tried Russian for the last case and it was okay. If anything, I want to help him less now, right? You're rich? Get out of here. That was a lot of money, though. It says he's British. Okay. His counsel. That would be me. Oh, just time. Well then, fella. Don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here. I'd made up me mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him. Sure you can. Just walk away. Mr. Naruhodo, the man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would never have allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. I'll be right there. Take the 100 guineas and run, yeah. Go back to Japan. He'll never find you. Oh, okay, I have a request. The magically delicious! There you go. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. Some people's keyboards sound like that. I can't do like the super loud mechanical keyboards. I like some of the ones that have sounds like they sound like a little bubble popping or something. I think those are nice, but oh. I have a pretty silent keyboard right now. But I wouldn't mind having something with some kind of a sound, but definitely not like that. That's way too much. Oh dear God. PC Man has redeemed Ruuuvo voice. Okay, whatever new character. Oh, I don't know. Whatever new character pops up, I'm gonna do Ruuuvo voice for them for a little while. Not permanently, unless it fits, but okay. Alright, I see. I want an English Ruuuvo voice. Oh God, British Ruuuvo. Okay, we'll save it for a character. 18th February, 10 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Oh my. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh, yes. What? He's so nervous. Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know, but I just can't help it. Hello? Oh! He looks like Santa. Alright, this guy's gonna have an Ruuuvo voice for a little while. Can I even do Ruuuvo British? I don't know if I can. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I'm trying. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Okay, then here's Van Zeek's. He's probably just gonna have just a normal voice. The prosecution is fully prepared. I'll just make him really dramatic. Make it permanent! That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He does look like a vampire, doesn't he? He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld. Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English? Oh, God. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. But he asked if the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me. Nipponese, Japanese. They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh, a cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes! Now, Mr. McGilded, there's all these dramatic, serious voices, and then the judge is just terrible, terrible. Dracula-ass cape, kind of weird judge. The judge looks like a sweet old man. He reminds me of, like, Santa. Just, Nipponese, yeah. Prosecution. The defense has a succulent neck. Now, Mr. McGilded. Yes, my lord. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner? Wow. Wow! As I've always said, my lord, it's a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some little island off in the Far East. Wow! It is not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance. Whatever. I'd like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud. Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to the government the other day? Mother, please let me go and play in McGilded Park. It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him. Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed? So many voices I have to do. Oh, God. Yeah, I've just... His voice is evolving into something. It's gonna be his future voice. There's a jury? I guess so! Yeah, that's different, huh? The prosecution isn't casting a shadow. He doesn't have a reflection. I was just thinking he looked like Santa. He looks like Santa Claus. Maybe his voice eventually can be Santa-esque, but for now it's some weird high-pitched British voice. I have a second request. Oh my god. We've had one, yes, but what about second breakfast? I don't know. I'm not good at this voice. Oh. I call him Kringle. Welcome to the new mechanic. Oh lord. The jury was implemented in the Professor Layton crossover, and they kept it for this game. Huh. Yeah, we are in Britain. It was introduced in Layton. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna have to think of different voices for these characters. The most is that I can promise is that I'm doing my best, okay? Yes, my lord. The task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong. I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Ha! Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me! Okay, nothing. Nothing? I feel a chill. Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. This is so, this is so difficult. The alcoholic on the jury, oh my god. I didn't even give the knuckle. It just fits. It fits. Alright. Oh wait, Jumbo! Oh, Jumbo Rainbow Cowboy hat, my goodness. Which way does this go? I don't know. Ah, for the silly voices, okay. I'm just putting it over my headphones. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, those people are... The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentence according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yes. Prosecutor Van Zeeks!
My lord.
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame.
I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity.
So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware? I know the voices. They're so different. I don't know how I'm gonna keep up with this.
I leave that to your imagination, my lord.
So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback? Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo. As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity.
We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware.
The incident took place in the late evening. 3 days passed. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice Fired Mason.
Thrice Fired. Okay, so the victim. Information. Victim. Okay, so he's a mason. He busted out the scroll! It's serious now! Sorry, Thrice? He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible. Oh my god. I'm like, how do you spell indestructible again? I got it.
The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time.
Yeah, so he's discovered in one of the carriages. An omnibus, specifically. Found in omnibus.
A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death.
Stabbed. Okay, dagger. Like, squeezing my brain.
Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard!
Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence. I feel like this voice... I should probably just make the grandma sound like this, like a high-pitched British voice, and then he should sound like Santa. I guess this is the canon voice. I don't know if I want it to be in the canon voice. I don't know if I can handle that. Because it's just turning into an old lady voice. So I'm like, that's what grandma's gonna sound like. Can I even do Santa?
Ho ho ho! Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence.
The autopsy report has been entered into the court record. A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner, it gives the cause of death as internal hemorrhaging as a result of a single stab wound to the abdomen. Give grandma the Santa voice. No. No. A photograph of the crime scene has been added into the court record. Photograph of the victim taken on the omnibus. The knife in his abdomen is clearly visible, but his face is partly obscured from view by an odd crooked hat. And one further item of evidence. Prosecution wishes to submit these as well. And these are? Yeah, he's gonna just turn to the old judge. Good lord! Is that blood, counsel? Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Uh-oh. Yes, my lord. Delicious blood. Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well. I'm just gonna do the judge voice. This is too much. The leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. There's bloodstain on the right glove. Okay. How did I get into this? Well, let's look at the court record. Internal hemorrhaging from the wound. Okay, name thrice fired mason. It's just his name? He's a brickmaker. He died 15th February, 10 to 11 p.m. Stabbed once in the abdomen with a knife while journeying in an omnibus. Died due to internal hemorrhaging resulting from the trauma. Okay. Got a picture. Can't really, like, interact with anything for these. Leather gloves the defendant was wearing at the time of the incident. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Huh, pity. If only he had been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Okay. So let's say, so McGilded... The accused is right-handed. Okay. How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I've even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time, of course. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. His name's just Mr. Mason? Really? He's a Mason and his name is Mason. The other... was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Well, rather damning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Well, of course. I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilting, so it is. And when I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. Okay. He's already doing testimony pretty much. Okay, so McGilded says... he fell asleep and woke up to Mason being dead. Or being stabbed, I guess. And trying to help him. Okay. So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed.
Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning.
What? That's not all of it?
There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed.
Order! Order! Order!
When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage, and there were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused.
Thank you, Counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all.
Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once.
So dramatic. Oh my goodness. So many witnesses too! Oh no.
Witnesses, your names and occupations.
Beppo? His name is Beppo. My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End.
Bruce Fairplay. I'm a baker in the city. My name's First.
Lady First. I, make hats for gents. Lady First? Ladies first? Maybe he's like a gentleman. Make hats for gentlemen. His hat's not very good though, is it? Oh. That's rough. You make hats, but, you might want to find another job.
Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then. Let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each one of you will tell the court precisely what you saw. Okay. We've got, 3 witnesses. What the witnesses saw. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well. Last bus of the evening, okay.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus.
Okay.
Then, out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. I couldn't help it. Is that? As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Gonna super glue that hat to his head, my god. Unambiguous testimony, I must say.
Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Yes, counsel?
Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Why not?
Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it?
As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes.
Well, in that case, how could those 2 witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage.
How... Wait. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is. What? Do you mean the actual scene? No. A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably, you understand that much. He's so rude. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? Bailiff! Bring forth the stricken omnibus.
Wow, they just pull it right in. Okay.
So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. Can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers.
Okay. So, we're learning about omnibuses now. Let's see, the witnesses also claimed that, McGilded stabbed the victim out of nowhere. And the other one said he screamed. Okay, now an omnibus holds 8 people. Okay.
4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above.
Oh, okay, so yeah. So 4 inside and 4 on top. I see. And then the 2 inside are facing each other. Okay, I'm gonna write this down because I don't know what's gonna be important later. So 2 inside face each other. And the 2 on top face forward. Setting this up. Okay. Here we go. They make it sound a bit nicer in this translation. Okay. Okay. Rooftop, yes.
Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus.
Did the murder happen on the top?
And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above.
Eh? No, he was inside the omnibus, wasn't he? Okay, skylight shows view from above.
Ah, a skylight. Oh! The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place.
Oh, alright. So, 2 witnesses were in the top seats, and then the other witness is the driver. Damn. That complicates things for sure!
That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ugh, that makes perfect sense.
Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. His little wig!
There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish. His animations are so extra. Yeah, you adjust that. Very well. I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. The omnibus has been entered into the court record. Okay, the 8-seater omnibus that was the scene of the crime. There were passengers both inside and on the roof. I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. Well, let's take a look. Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Ugh, the scene of a murder. It's horrible. Oh wow, we're going in. Oh damn. Maybe I should have looked outside first, but... Okay. Ah, that's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the Great Exhibition. That might be important because they keep bringing it up. Great Exhibition happening in 6 months. Like maybe Mr. McGilded has something to do with the Great Exhibition, and maybe the Mr. Mason, I mean, we're trying to prove that this murder didn't, we're trying to prove Mr. McGilded did not kill this person. And I'm in my head thinking he's guilty, so I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Okay, so that's a poster for the Great Exhibition. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. Ooh, the Crystal Tower. It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be fizzing with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event. Okay. We can look at the blood. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark, and there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Okay, so that's something important we're getting from this. Doesn't seem like a planned attack. Okay. So kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. Okay, oh. This seat has a handle, it seems. Oh. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Okay. It's weird that it still shows it as, like, not checkmarked. Yeah. Okay. Ah, that's a poster for the Great Exhibition. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. There's not one there. You can look up at the skylight. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. And there doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. Okay. This is about the omnibus. Skylight can't be opened from inside. Okay. Have you seen enough? Let's step back outside then. Snatched his own wig, yep. Apparently the US was the first country to have a Supreme Court in 1789. Didn't know that. Just kind of assumed Supreme Courts have always been a thing in like England or France. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So the US invented that. If I remember correctly, at this point the UK's highest court was the King of England, who customarily delegated the judging legal appeals part of his job to the House of Lords. The House of Lords! Alright, so now I want to look at the outside here.
Anything interesting down there? No. Phoenix Wright Omnibus? Hold on! What do you mean Phoenix Wright Omnibus? Huh? Is that just an Easter egg? Excuse me? Okay, there's nothing interesting down here at all? Okay. I can't look under it, really. Okay. It's an Easter egg? Aw. So, this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London's streets from up here. So people sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them? And they have to pay money to do so? Brr, I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late. Okay. Is this the same? Yes, okay. That's the same. Nothing super useful so far. Look at the skylight. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. And there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. We'll revisit if I get stuck on something. Okay. Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I could help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Which I did. Let us continue with proceedings, then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Pray, don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. He's so rude. Alright, my first cross-examination in a British court. Focus, Ryunosuke. Focus! Cross-examination! What the witnesses saw. Let's save. Just to be safe. Would you accept an Easter egg in these trying times? Alright. It was the last... Oh yeah, so they already said this. It was the last bus of the evening. Had few customers. I remember it well. Press!
Hold it!
Yes. I think it was some time after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes. Ever so cold it was, sir. Freezing, in fact. Wait, what? Oh. Okay, so yeah, I forgot, while one is talking, you can check the other ones for, like, acting weird. Which I don't think they are. Oh, man. This is gonna get complicated. And you had 4 passengers on board at the time. Is that correct? Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no. Okay. Okay, so it was very cold, he says. Freezing cold. If it's freezing cold, why were they on the top? And there were no other passengers when the incident took place? No one alighted, for example? You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that, no. None. So nobody fled the scene of the crime, then? I have to say, the boss insists on it running, he does. Every evening. That last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again. Okay. So, the other two didn't really react to anything he was saying. And he doesn't think the late run is worth it. Okay. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Okay, so there's two seats that face each other, but they were sitting on the same seat.
Hold it!
And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage? That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. Two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Well, you know, I did just get an idea. So, they were sitting on the seats that did not have a compartment. But there is a compartment where maybe someone could squeeze in and hide. So maybe there is a person unaccounted for that was hiding inside of that compartment and has since left, without explaining why McGilded was asleep and then woke up and suddenly this guy is stabbed next to him. They probably came out of the little compartment, stabbed him, and then went back in hiding inside of the carriage. That's my theory right now. My brain is working tonight. All right, I'm just gonna write that down. So there's a small compartment. All right. Two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't make out their faces. That's interesting too. But there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilded. How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? McGilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. See, that's where I think you are wrong. I think you're wrong about that. My goodness. Hey, Ty, welcome in! Thanks so much for subscribing for 16 months. I live your life! Welcome in. How you doing? Shiz. Oh my god, shiz. Let me get your name on a star real quick. Let's get some shiz. Yeah. Here we go, Ty. How you been? Hope you've been doing well. We are in the middle. Oh my goodness! Who did this? Caramel? Caramel, thank you so much for gifting 5 subs to the chat. That's very, very sweet of you. Thank you. Here's the first star. Here's Ty's. There's yours. Let's switch over real quick while I do all these stars. Thank you so much, Caramel. That is so sweet of you. Let me get these going here. My goodness. Yes, we are in the midst of playing some Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I have just started episode 3. We're finally in London, and we're doing our first case, but we've just started. Alright, so I have quite a few stars to do. Let's indeed get some shiz. Oh my god, shiz. Okay, let me get everybody's names written down. Thank you so much, Caramel. Let's see, D got one. Gotta get more. Bipolar Molar. I'll put Molar on here. And then Yowzer's got one. And then Kazi got one. And then Stephen got one. There we go. Thank you so much, Caramel, for doing that. I appreciate it very, very much. We're now at 29 subs. Thank you very, very much. I see. Welcome to the stream and also to being alive. Yeah. Welcome to life. My goodness. Let me see. I've been super busy and stressed, but finally get to catch stream. Hope you're okay. Yeah, no worries at all. I'm so sorry you've been stressed out lately. I totally understand. But yeah, I hope things get less stressful for you soon overall. And I hope things kind of calm down for you. Oh my God. What is that sentence, Arkham? What is that? Alright, here's the substars. Let me get these put away. Here's Yowzers and Steven. I don't know why it looks like I wrote it 2 times. Here's Molar. And D. Just wrote D. And then Kazzy got one. And for everyone who just got a gift sub, anyone who subscribed, you have access to all of our sound effects when they're turned on. You also have access to all of our tier 1 emotes, which are pretty cool, I must say. They're all drawn by Ruuuvo, our chat moderator, artist, and my spouse. They wear many hats. They wear many hats. Sound effects. Hey, hey Crown, welcome in. Lexicon? I always switch up what I call you. Lexicon, welcome in. Sound effects like what? There are many, many sound effects. Let me turn them back on. I had them off for the game. Wait, y'all are married? Wait, you're married? Yep, yep. Work mergers are fun. Hopefully calmer next year. Yeah, I really hope so. Yeah, there's chat's favorite one. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna retire it, I swear to God. I'm gonna like I'm gonna turn it off for like a month. Just wait, you live together? I would hope so. I would hope so. Oh god. Just lurking while I play DS1. Nice, nice. Thank you for the lurk. Yeah, we have a lot of sound effects here. I think I have a... Let's see, that is some of them, but not all of them. I should have a... Yeah, commands. Here we go. If you go there, you can see all of them. Hey, Brad, welcome in. Howdy. The awe is your favorite. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's a new one, too. That's one of the more recent sound effects we added. I like it, too. It's very useful. We needed a sound effect to convey when something cute is happening. So I had to find something, and I think that was the best way to do it.
Show us your meat! Show us your meat!
That's also a good one. Yeah, some of the sound effects actually are me saying something. Booba's one, Meat is one, there's a Drip one, Pro Gamer one. Some of them are actually me. That's also me. I forgot about Max Weeder. How could I forget about that? Change it to a mini one. I don't know. Maybe. We get shoes as an emote. You know, it's funny. I used to have shoes as a sub badge. Because all of my sub badges were JoJo themed. Specifically, I think they were all Dio themed because I was BishiDove. So like the top emote you could get was the golden shoe that Dio wears. Which is why the sound of the alert is the shoes thing, and it shows him walking because I try to make it all like thematically, you know. I don't want to change it though because I like the shoes song. So a lot of my alerts are still from that time when I was like all JoJo themed, and I can't bring myself to change some of them, but maybe someday I'll change everything but the shoes one. I just can't get rid of the shoes one. It's such a good audio. I never want to give up the shoes. But yeah, we did used to have a shoe sub edge. And those ones I actually drew myself. All my JoJo ones. But, right? Yes, yes. Don't get rid of the shoes one. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to keep the shoes one. At least the sound. Maybe I'll change like the animation or something. I don't know, but I keep thinking about it like, oh, I want to change my alerts sometime soon. At least the ones that I didn't make, like all the chunk ones, I did make those. I animated them, so I don't think I want to change them. But the other ones, I'm like, maybe I could switch to something new, but I always forget and I get busy, you know? Oh my god, shoes. Exactly. Don't forget about the wiener. Yeah, how could I forget? How could I forget about that? That's the command. I know, yeah, the potato command. So cute. So cute. All right. Let's go ahead and switch back. Get back. All right. I'm gonna turn the sound effects back off just because, like, I'm doing so much reading, and sometimes when the sound effect goes off, it completely erases my brain, like, where I was in the sentence, and there's so many voices I have to keep track of, so I'm keeping them off for now. It's just how I'm feeling today, but alright. Oh my god. If it's not one thing, it's another with you, huh? Arkham has redeemed lose the glasses for 5 minutes. No plot, wow. You underestimate my abilities to squint. Okay, 5 minutes. Starting now. Oh my god, I can't even see the play button. Okay, 5 minutes. I can read this, but I'm having trouble reading chat. Okay. Were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. So he was just saying that the only two people in the omnibus were Mason and McGilded, but I'm thinking there might have been a secret third person. A secret third option. There is no room for doubt here. Oh, I really wish there was. I really wish there was a different way. And out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his gut. So what he's saying now, I feel like is a lie. And maybe he just saw the aftermath, because I'm really convinced there was just someone else in the car. Okay, let's do that. You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Oh, fair... Or are fair dinkum, hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? I don't trust any banks. What are you talking about? Dinkum? I had to squint for that. I was like, that doesn't look like a word. It is? Okay. What does dinkum mean? You know how difficult it is to Google something when you can't see? Am I even spelling it? Definition? I'm typoing so bad. Why would you make me do this? I can't read it! It's so tiny! A genuine, honest, true. Okay. So it just means genuine. Dinkum is genuine. Honest. Okay. Oh, genuine, honest. Oh, you already got it for me. Sorry. I can't see chat, so. Australian? Oh, maybe this guy is Australian? Who knows? I can't do an Australian accent, though. This is why certain words died out. I literally have to squint and be like right there to even read chat. Okay, or are fair bankers not considered trustworthy? Oh, no. No, no. Oh, no, no. I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his back up. What? Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail if that's... My lord! Hmm? Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord! Completely and utterly made up! Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich! Never have! They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be! Every one of them! Why is there fire? And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception! Well, he can't fool me! Oh. That's interesting. Oh, shit! Absolutely, literally tilting the scales of justice. There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. That is precisely what I was about to say. Wow. As the foreman of the jury, it's my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. Oh no. Oh no. This is happening because I don't have my glasses on, isn't it? What the? What's happening here? Can I see yet? I can't even see my alarm. Okay, soon, soon. Let me see. Ah, yes. It seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. While for white for innocent and black for guilty. I can't see. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice, as we saw a moment ago. Oh my god. It's like going from 480 to 4K. Jesus Christ. Y'all are evil. Okay. There we go. Dinkum became deadass. The evolution of linguistics. He looks like his name is Josh. According to my guidebook, everyone in London is a firebender. How much is that? How much is what? The glasses? So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Yeah, I made it kind of expensive, because I mean, it literally prevents me from successfully living. I, like, can't see anything. I struggle reading. So I had to make it expensive. If those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Ugh, now I'm even more worried than I was before. Yeah, that's pretty intense. Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare. Okay. That's right. He stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. His hat is just falling everywhere! Every direction his hat is sliding! Oh my god. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly! That huge great knife! Knife! Grim sight indeed. Ah, that didn't help me at all. Man. The jury looked like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before. That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions.
Mr. First.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
Is this the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief! Yes, that's it. The very one, sir.
Is that... Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart.
You know, he's really not helping himself with us thinking he's a vampire. He's even talking about stakes to the heart. He's a fucking vampire. This is a vampire prosecutor. 100%. Like a stake through the heart, okay?
That is a blade of considerable size, counsel. It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar.
Ugh, please no.
M for Magnus, perhaps. Or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick.
Or Mason, the victim. Think about that. Mr. Prosecutor Vampire, sir? Alright, so there's the dagger. Has an M on it. Okay. I'm gonna put Mason, maybe? I feel like the juror that has the typewriter, like, trying to write all of my notes. Miracula. It's his knife. Like the knife the juror was tossing around, right? Some knives are okay and some aren't, apparently. His hat falling all the time genuinely bothers me. Oh my god. So garlic, see what happens here, maybe. Maybe. Let's see. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
But there are M's everywhere. Yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
That's what I was saying. This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Ugh. Well, just because it's his knife doesn't mean that he killed him, you know? Someone could have taken his knife. Like, he was asleep, right? So the person who was in the compartment crawled out, stole his knife, stabbed him so he could frame him, and then went back in his little compartment. I'm writing my notes. Okay. Got it. Whoops. Sorry. Hey, Glitch. Welcome in. How you been? How you doing? Howdy, howdy. Oh my god, I've been sparring and seen daggers pulled and stabbed into the owner mid-fight, not while they were asleep. Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you can do that, you can do it while they're sleeping. Been very well. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear. Oh, moving into a new apartment this week. Congratulations on the move. Moving can be so stressful, but also fun because you get to decorate a new place and get into your new home, make it all cozy. Getting your degree in little over a month too. My goodness. So much is happening for you. Congratulations on both things. Congrats. I'm glad you're doing good. Right. Judge says not conclusive. Okay. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. The murder weapon has been entered into the court record. A large-ish knife that was found lodged in the victim's abdomen. Its quality and fancy ornamentation suggest it must be quite valuable.
My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
Ah, juror number 2. Go on.
Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However...
Oh, damn.
Those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Wait, what are you about to do?
Dispose of the rubbish!
Damn! Aren't they supposed to be, like, impartial or something? No.
I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
Oh, she hasn't spoken yet.
I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here.
Oh, I'm trying to make it different.
I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion.
I'm struggling. Wow. He's gonna be guilty, like, right now. Not again.
That's 4 out of 6 jury members who've proposed a guilty verdict.
There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse.
Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark.
Let's look at the knife. That part is the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Hmm? Oh, sorry. Yes, I just don't really like blades.
Oh.
Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist. That's not a blade. That's Kazuma's soul. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. Let's see what the blade looks like. Oh man. Ugh, that looks like a lot of blood. Oh, that looks a lot like blood.
It surely is blood. The victim's.
Ugh, an Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood.
Did you think it wouldn't?
Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand.
Okay, there's the M. An ornate letter M. Undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial.
And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think.
Ah, what is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything.
A W?
Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it.
I'm afraid I don't know at all. What I am sure of is that this is an M.
Oh, well that idea was quickly quashed. Yeah. Sorry. Is there like a secret compartment? Anything else? I think that's it. Man, there's just like nothing for us to work with yet. Yeah, gilded I think is like gold encrusted kind of. Ryu said, set it to Wumbo. Let me see if I can do it. Yes, Wumbo! Wumbo mode. That will save us. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Man. This is shaping up to be a pretty difficult case here. Wumbo. M's and W's may seem symmetrical, but the upside down M on my wall says otherwise. It just don't look right. It's federal housing, so the vouchers I have cover the cost. I have a stable home finally. Oh, that's awesome, Glitch. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing. The dagger belongs to Willithy Wonka. Willithy? Alright, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly.
We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back.
But... Alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. Again? Okay. Did we finish? Yeah, I don't think we did. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus. And then I saw it too. Yeah, we hadn't pressed this one yet. Okay. Let's do a press. What exactly did you see?
Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was.
And by the passenger, obviously you are referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
And then the other passenger had that knife in his hand, like this.
By the other passenger, obviously you are referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded.
And then he plunged it down like this, so stabbing the other passenger in the belly.
I keep checking on him. I'm like, is somebody gonna look weird? What?
My lord, I wish to speak.
Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you too?
As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself.
Okay.
But I've heard enough now. The horse has bolted, as they say.
Oh, damn! No, please, just keep an open mind.
Gee up now, Silverblaze. The finish is in sight.
Wow. So the only one left is the old lady? Jesus Christ. Can they take it back?
Beppo is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir.
Ugh, this is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Oh my lord.
And then there's Granny.
Is Granny gonna be our angel? Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dear. What can I do for you?
You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Sorry.
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. The Gilded Park, it's called.
Oh.
The gentleman donated it to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life.
Oh. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right. A man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely.
Father, may we go to the McGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books?
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? Ooh.
Yeehaw! Just one of the people in the crowd are just like, yeehaw! And Van Zeek is just like, just gives them a death stare. They turn to stone. Because he's a fucking vampire. We've also got magic words. You just want to throw me off my game, don't y'all? You just want you want me to fail and not pick up on clues and get distracted? That's what it is. That's what it is. The pipe organ's going ham? Yeah. Oh my god. Update on the reorganization at my work. I have no title at the moment. I am now ad lady. Oh my god. So unprofessional. They gotta get their crap together, you know? Man. Alright. The worms are an apology. Okay. My little friends. What kind of a man McGilded really is? What kind of a man is he? Or what kind of a man is he?
The philanthropist, Magnus McGilded, has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls. A Shylock.
A moneylender? I'm gleaning from this. Okay. Oh, hello, Mr. Vampire. Yeah, he's... I forgot to talk about it, but I am sure many people also call this character Daddy. We've met 2 Daddy characters today. What?
Stone the crows!
Why would you say such a thing?
McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him.
Ah, okay, so yeah, moneylender.
When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard any mention of that before.
Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? Oh, I see what he's saying. You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debt. Oh.
This complicates things, doesn't it? Okay. McGilded is a moneylender. Day of death was last repayment. Date for Mason. Okay. You don't get rich throwing money around. He rode the carriage to save money, obviously. He's just trying to, It's like his monthly, budgeting thing. Okay, this month, I'll take one public carriage. Good gracious. The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debt. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him. His life. I mean, here's the thing. If he's so rich, he could have hired a killer instead of killing him himself. So that also doesn't make any sense.
By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded.
I don't believe it.
Hold it!
Oh. If I might add something briefly. Miss Susato? You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where is the evidence to support your claim?
Mm-hmm.
I was about to be like, where did that glass come from? Is that blood? It's blood! That's not wine.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law.
Ah, there it is. Lord Van Zeek's hallowed chalice. Oh my... This guy's like worshipped. How can this be considered acceptable? Acceptable! Can't say it.
But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
Enough of this. Have at you. We just start sword fighting. As judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Oh.
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time.
A marvelous toast, counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Okay, the debtor's ledger has been entered into the court record. A catalog of people who had borrowed money from the defendant at a high rate of interest. It includes the victim who owed 20 guineas. We'll look at that in a second. Ah, yes. 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. Let's look at it. Is there anything on the back? Okay, open up. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry. Oh dear. Do you think we ought to look inside? Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? I'm so sorry. Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder. I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside. Well, let's see what we find. Alright. dead debtors don't repay debt, right? I mean, like, what's the point of killing him if you can't repay it? You're never gonna get your money back. Maybe the kind of rich person who doesn't like to pay for things. I don't know. Just weird. There's always henchmen, you know, with rich people. Pretty sure Ryu cannot use a sword. Yeah, it's just decorative for him, really. And sentimental. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it? Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off. Ah, goodness. What is it? Look at this. Do you see the name here? Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. Okay, so this witness has reason to get McGilded in prison so he doesn't have to pay his debt. So we have a conflict of interest here. Okay, that's good. We have one good thing going for us now. Okay, so Bruce is a debtor. McGilded. Okay. Got it. Bruce Fairplay. Right, Bruce? Okay. The witness testifying at this very moment. Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, did he? Ah, also a large amount. Okay, so 20 guineas. 20 guinea pigs! And look, the repayment date is fast approaching. It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information. Okay, the details of the debtor's ledger have been updated in the court record. Among the defendant's list of debtors is Bruce Fairplay, who would have been due to repay his loan imminently. All right, we've got something going. Good, good. All right. Did we take that money McGilded gave us? Can we give it back? Yeah, imagine it's just a loan. He's not actually paying us. My goodness. Apparently the guy owed about $500 according to inflation, and back then about $50. Okay, so 500. But still, 500 for them is a lot, I guess. Supposedly, heard from one source, haven't verified, nobles were quite often jailed for being unable to pay debts because things were bought on credit throughout the year and didn't have the liquidity. Yeah. I'm sorry. To pay back their debts at the end of the year. Dang. So they would just take jail. Okay. 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel! Oh, no. Still... maybe it's all for the best. Hold on, lady! Scaring me. Wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more before... I don't stand for nonsense! Isn't that it? Aren't we done? Oh, God. Oh, my God. That was it. The last juror's decision. What now? Yeah, good night. Bye. That's the end of the game. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. Ah, the final verdict. It's over then. Oh. There's a footnote, though. Footnote? However, the defense... Oh my God. All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. It was a very quick case. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. according to the laws of the country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. I mean, we should do that. We should object.
Miss Susato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point.
Summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected?
Oh.
Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh.
What even is it, Miss Susato? This so-called summation examination?
Oh, one moment and I'll read about it.
You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese.
Oh, come on. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo. I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what, exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that, if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions.
Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Well, we're doing it!
Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
A summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat?
Of course we gotta assert our right
to party! The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
There we go.
This is madness.
Don't say it. Don't say it. If you say it, you get a timeout. Don't say it.
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready?
Eh? Well, I'm not, There was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so...
All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
On what grounds?
You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty.
Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. That seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them have experienced this before.
Alright then. Summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for, to turn this trial around. The only good thing we have going is that Bruce is a debtor. So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant Magnus McGilded guilty of this most serious crime. Alright, next phase. Judicial findings, the jurors' contentions. Let's do another save. Alright. This is BishiDove! That's acceptable. That one's acceptable! The vampire would well know the age of binding now, wouldn't he? Seeing as he is well-aged. Yeah, page flipping machine go brrr. The jurors' contentions. Yes, so now we're doing the summation examination. Very fun to say. Alright. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far, and drawn the logical conclusion. There, that's her voice. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. The scoundrel! Stabbing that poor man on the floor! It beggars belief! Okay. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them, and use some very persuasive language.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo.
According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything that the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do? Don't yell at her, it's not her fault!
Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you better apologize. You have any idea how to make this work, then?
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
Okay. Use jurors' own words in arguments. Okay, that's gonna be important. What package? Oh, PC Man wanted to send me a gift, wanted to send me something. So Stumped is helping to bring it to me, so to say. Good night, Arkham. Thanks for hanging out. See y'all on Saturday for the mustached spaghetti boy. Yeah, we'll see you on Saturday for some Mario Galaxy. But have a great night. We'll see you around. See you next time. So use the jurors' own words. What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to be present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
Hit them against each other. Okay. Wait, this is important too. Hit the corresponding jurors against each other. Okay. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. Okay, okay, there we go. So look for contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say. Okay, that's the big thing to do here. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
So it's not too different. Find contradictions in their statements, and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. 2 slaps! I have to pull this off! Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask that you take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Jury examination! The defense's rebuttal. Okay, I'm gonna save here as well. Things are happening. Surprised I don't have more saves right now. I only have 2. Alright. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. Okay, so we have press and we have pit. And then, of course, we have our court record here. I haven't looked at the people. We have Susato, male Strongheart. He's 52. The Lord Chief Justice who wields absolute authority in judicial matters, including the appointment of lawyers. He's a thoroughly intimidating man. That's the other daddy from today. We have Magnus McGilded. The defendant, he's an incredibly wealthy philanthropist with a wonderful reputation in London. I'm to defend him as a test of my worthiness. Barak Van Zeeks, 32. A prosecutor known as the Reaper of the Bailey. Supposedly the souls of those he prosecutes are eternally damned. Thrice-fired Mason, 54. The victim, a skilled but poor brickmaker, who apparently owed the defendant a considerable sum. Beppo, 62. The driver of the omnibus. He's an eyewitness. We have Bruce, 34. A gentleman who works as a city banker. Witnessed the incident from his seat on the roof deck. And Lay, 21. An apprentice milliner, I guess hat maker, who witnessed the incident from his seat on the roof deck. Okay. That's everybody. Okay, so there was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
Hold it!
Certainly, the testimonies we've heard suggest the victim and Mr. McGilded were alone inside the carriage. Precisely my point. But, would there be some other explanation? Something we haven't considered yet? Such as? Well, perhaps that's something we could, all work out together now? Now listen here. Maybe you don't know how things work around here because you're from foreign climes. But we're here to form our opinions as individuals. And I have. Ugh.
Oh dear. He doesn't appear to be in the mood to consider an alternative point of view, does he?
No. I'm going to have to pit the jurors against one another, like Susato-san said. Finding contradictions in these 6 people's assertions is the only way I'm going to succeed. Okay? So I guess, like, when they contradict each other's statements. So he's saying there was no one else inside the carriage. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Yeah, he did say that.
Hold it!
But does his ability to recall his takings that night really tell us how trustworthy the man is?
I manage all his lordship's cash affairs, so I'm very particular when it comes to accounts.
I see.
A single penny can mean the difference between life and death, after all, can't it?
That's a saying in your country?
My point is, a man who minds his figures is a man you can trust. Those of us in service would swear to that, sir.
Does that bench really need any more polishing? Like, that one spot is gonna be so shiny, it's gonna be transparent.
So if the good driver says that he saw Mr. McGilded in the act, I don't doubt him. The only task left to do today is disposing of the rubbish.
Ah, now wait a minute. One of the other jurors mentioned something about money, I think.
Now would be a very good time to listen carefully to the jurors' statements again, Mr. Naruhodo. If you notice an inconsistency in what 2 different jurors are saying,
I should expose it by putting them against each other. Yes, let's see if I can do just that. You know what? I don't know if we will see Herlock Sholmes today. I put his name in my title, but I don't know if he's gonna show up. This is all about Ryu, which is fine by me, honestly. Okay, so then we have this bloke here. I tried to do that when I worked at Bucky's. Tried to clean an area enough that it was noticeably different. Just to pass the time, or actually like trying to get it really clean? Just like scrub the same spot for 8 hours. Get your check. Okay, he stuck the chap next to him just like this to pass the time, right? Brazen.
Hold it!
Careful, you could hurt somebody with that. You're a fine one to talk. What of that sword hanging from your waist, huh? No, that's just my battered soul. Well, anyway, I despise anyone with too much money. They're all the same, all stabbing some brickmaker or other behind the scenes. You mark my words.
Objection.
That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you mad, man? We know that small shorty is a rotten Shylock. Well, yes, that does seem to be the case, but...
Mr. Naruhodo, please, be careful what you say.
If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us less fortunate, then as far as I'm concerned, he's as guilty as sin. The man can hang. He's so tired. Come to think of it, didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhand activities? Okay, so we have two people. We have a money talk, and we have underhand activities. So the money lending problem. All right. Yeah, pass the time. Clean the clean. Yes.
If you've thought of something, Mr. Naruhodo, don't let it go. Test your theory.
Hit the two jurors whose statements seem to be contradictory against each other. No time like the present to use X to pit them against each other, or I'll never get anywhere. I wanted to hear everybody out so I can make my, what's the word? I can form my attack, you know? My strategy. I've simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
Hold it!
What have you been doing all this time?
What have you been doing all this time? There! I should have thought it was obvious. I am recording everything that takes place as part of these proceedings.
And what have you learned from that?
For example, at this moment in time, the judge has used his gavel 11 times in total. The prosecution has snorted derisively at your remarks 7 times in total. And I might add, each time you have gawped like a simpleton.
Thank you. And what's the point exactly? So anyway, madam, are you able to explain why you think the defendant is guilty?
That is a conclusion I have drawn as a result of the copious notes I have typed.
Clearly, but I'm asking you to explain why you've drawn that conclusion.
Please don't distract me. It makes it extremely hard to concentrate on my note-keeping.
This is going nowhere. Yeah, she's not going to be useful here. You can't trust the guild. Oh, you can trust the guild! Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. Ah, so there's the inconsistency. He had 4 people, and they paid 20 total. If it's 4 each, that's less than 20. So he had a higher price that time. So it'll be him against the maid. And then maybe the granny talks about... Yeah, the granny talks about his underhanded activities. So it'll be the granny with the knife guy and the alcoholic. The guy drinking with the maid. Well, let's press everybody first. That's how much it costs to take the omnibus? That's right. As the guild master, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. 1 fare, no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. Motor cars, you say? Yes, and this murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to a decline in passengers, you mark my words. And it's all that rascal's fault. He has to pay. Is it the crime or his buses he's more worried about? Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, that fellow in the dark is as guilty as sin. Alright? Her reason. Because I said so, basically. If there was a hidden 5th person, it would add up to 20. Oh, yes, that makes more sense. But basically, there's an inconsistency with the pricing. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man.
Hold it!
I really think you should stop waving that needle around.
You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow, just like this.
Yes, that is what he said. You're right.
McGilded Park is such a lovely little place, too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on with my knitting. And I had thought that anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. I suppose I was wrong.
Poor Granny.
Whoever would have thought he was a miserable, murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse?
Oh, help. She's as sure can be that he's guilty now. The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she? Alright. So, we just need to find 2 jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is so much easier said than done. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking? How did you know? Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in just such a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid. I guess? I mean, if I haven't heard it before, I should hear it, right? Very well. Listen to this. Oh, okay. Oh no, this is like a tutorial. Okay, during the summation examination, you'll hear the assertions of the 6 members. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use X and pit with impunity. Having done so, you will be able to compare the chosen assertion with those of the other jurors. Select the corresponding buttons to listen to the other jurors' assertions again. Interesting. Note that you cannot choose the assertion of the juror you initially selected, nor can you choose assertions of jurors who have changed their leaning to not guilty already. Alright. Once you've compared the various jurors' assertions, work out which 2 contradict each other, and then pit them against each other with X to pull them apart. Alright. I see. She wasn't joking when she said it was long. The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. Then I'm sure you'll start to see which ones might not quite agree with each other. Yeah, I've got it already, I just wanted to see what they would say. Alright then. Let's get this right now. Let's get this right now, so I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again. Wow. That's the spirit. He's kind of insulting her. Okay. So the maid against the drinker. Yeah, X. This is a pretty cool mechanic.
Objection!
There we go. Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on Silver Blaze's mane and name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Quite right. I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me.
I can't get her voice. She's gonna have a different voice every time. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is. A fair and convenient single price. Just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. The math isn't mathing, Your Honor. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication...
Ah, it would be 16 pence.
Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. There you go. 1 person's fare? Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious. I wasn't looking at the screen, and for a second I thought he actually said that the math isn't mathing. This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I'm literally, like, not even gonna try with her voice now. She's just gonna be my voice. Yeah, they don't add up. I beg your pardon? My goodness. Hey, Dave, welcome in. Love Ace Attorney. So underrated series. Yes, I think it's very underrated. This game in particular is so good so far. I just finished the main trilogy a few months ago, and then got started on this one pretty soon after. I've been waiting to play this ever since it came out. I think I actually bought it a few months ago, because I was ready. I was ready to go. But yeah, it's been a very fun time so far. I'm in the midst of episode 3. I'm getting introduced to a lot of new mechanics I'm not used to, but it's been pretty fun so far. Yeah, welcome in. 4 times 4 is equations and diagrams. Yeah. He's really using his brain cell. Okay. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. All right, then. How do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end, Say that you don't think he's guilty. Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side of the set of scales. Now hold your horses there, coachman. We're all in agreement. Why do you have to go in? Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo. He's lying. He's not hyena, he's lying. Oh, this is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same.
All right. We can get 2 more. For the love of Mike! Not you as well!
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
Oh, okay, so we do only need 4. 2 more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
And that's where you must strike next.
So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it.
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. Summation examination.
Okay, I'm changing my leaning to innocent. I should like to hear what the slipshod bookkeeper has to say for himself.
And then I want to see what this guy says. Beppo, this trial has to continue so I can get to the bottom of this corruption. Not guilty, I say. Alright, yeah, so we're gonna put this guy with Granny.
Objection!
Granny! These 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post-haste.
Oh, dearie me! I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
Oh. What's all this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? He doesn't even know the word! Oh my god, they need to remaster the Apollo Justice trilogy. Then there's the Edgeworth games so many people have yet to play. Oh, for sure. I know once I'm done with this game, I'm gonna be so sad because there's no other Ace Attorney stuff that I could realistically stream. from like PC or console, you know? I'm so hoping that in the next couple years they announce they're gonna do like localizations and ports of some of these other Ace Attorney games. Because like we did say it's underrated, but I know it has a pretty good fan base, and I know people would buy it, you know? I would! There's one sale right here! But yeah, we can only hope, right? So now we have 6 votes for guilty and 2 for not. Fire was never taken out. Technically, yeah. So there's 2 for innocent and then 4 for guilty, and we're about to get 2 more, so it leans more innocent. We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Can't you see I'm busy here?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Huh. Want to test me, do you? It was like this. Struck the fellow next to him without even getting up. Just like the prim baker said.
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do you for, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it.
The way that he stabbed is what they're contradicting. Okay.
It was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never.
They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What? Bless my stitches! What a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie?
I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies.
The scales.
I don't believe it. We're turning the scales. Wait! Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all.
If the magic is logic, sure. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Answer me this, Dark Cheeks. I don't like that.
Huh? Me?
What exactly is the problem? What of it if 2 witnesses have slightly different recollections of events?
What of it?
Let's say a Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again.
He was only stabbed 1 time.
And this old lady saw him do it.
Oh, sorry, my bot. I forgot that the internet went out, and my bot's not working. That back. Typical Victorian attitude. Yeah, a lot of the British people in this game are so terrible. They're terrible. Alright, the bot should be back on. You can now warn people that there is British happening. Alright. And this old lady saw him do it.
Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, hmm? Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
I mean, come on, lady. Ugh, they're ready to kill each other now. Isn't this what we want? But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the 2 witnesses see 2 different moments of the same crime? No, he was only stabbed 1 time. It's out of the question. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it? Stop saying that! Come on, out with it! Just sounds bad. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. Gasp. What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof. Probably the, autopsy report? It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by... Alright, let's think about this. A single stab wound. Yep, it's this one. Yeah, it's not actually bad. It just sounds bad. And in the first case, he's insulting him because he's Japanese. Like, oh, you're foreign, so you're bad. So, I mean, it is bad. Okay, autopsy report.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Eh? Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I concede defeat. Alright, fine. Sounds good to me. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won. Well, not won. We won the battle, but not the war. We're still at war. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. He still calls him sir, though. No one deceives me. Well, we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Would you stop licking that? Ew! Stop it! The tongue doesn't have the same, like, lines as the rest of him, so it just looks like this, like, 3D gummy... Ew. Please tell me he's a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. Look at him licking his knife in a civilized way. That is not civilized. Whatsoever! I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. All right. So, Lord Van Zieks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. More blood? Have to wet your whistle with more blood, maybe? Yes, I'm getting notes of type A negative. Jesus! Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hello chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray, forgive the discourtesy. He has like 10 more under the desk. Lord Van Zieks! Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says,
prosecution may not speak during a summation examination, so I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. Seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury.
He called y'all dumb.
Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle.
So dramatic. Oh wow, 100% love with Van Zeeks. Well, there you go. You liked how he crushed that glass, huh? Yeah, that is a quote, please. You got the full zoom in, too. So dramatic. So dramatic. Now I'll have to add that to our Hall of Fame of 100% love. All right. There we go. Number 544. All right. Man, we're gonna be at 600 quotes before you know it.
Dedication, civilization. Suffocation, alienation.
Sounds like a, oh my god.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies. It sounds like a song made by them.
Dedication, civilization. Suffocation, alienation.
Elimination, summarization. I forget if that's like Papa Roach. Yeah, maybe something like that. Suffocation, no breathing, suffocation, alienation. Yep. Okay. Let us proceed to the next round of battle.
Bring forth the witnesses once more. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir.
Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir. I heard it.
You, sir, on the end.
The coachman. I believe it's Beppo. Beppis? Yes, sir. My lord, sir.
If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh, mio dio!
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination, participation, yassification.
Witness testimony. Various misgivings. I only carried for 4 passengers that night. I swear it. But
Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He fiddled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
So now they're claiming that he made them pay more. So if they all paid 5, that would add up to 20 for 4 people. Okay. Let's see what we can do here.
I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Yeah, you would say that. You owe him money.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes.
He's so cold.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage.
Huh?
Beppo, explain yourself!
I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The guild fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare?
Just skimming some off the top, huh?
It's so cold.
and the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. I'm sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild, Beppo. I love saying his name. I like that guy's name, just Beppo. Yeah, I love it. Beppo the fool!
If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently.
No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please.
We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
Yep. Absolutely.
Cross-examination, summarization, explanation.
There's misgivings. Beppo the Fool might be my next D&D character. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear it. Alright, let me take some notes here. So... we have, they're claiming... usually 4 pence per person. But Beppo is charging 5 per person with 4 passengers. Okay. Got it. I want to boot up my Pokemon Sun game, grab a snow run, and call him Beppo. It's a pretty cute name. Pretty cute name. Thank you for that clip, Panda. I feel sorry for Beppo. He's so cold all the time and so small. He's so cold and so small. Poor old man. Alright, I only carried 4 passengers. So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right? Hey! Hey, you look a little nervous. You look a little nervous, I think. Let me save. I think this is my chance. Why are you so nervous?
Excuse me.
Mr. First. Oh, how can I help you, sir? That last statement, did it trouble you in some way? Oh, not particularly, sir, no. If anything, he's troubling me with that hat of his. Has he greased his head?
Oh dear, sir. I hope my hat's not troubling you, sir. I'm still just an apprentice, you see. Mr. Naruhodo, even the witnesses can see what's going through your mind. You really must be more careful.
Ugh, I wish it were that simple. What? So... huh.
Hold it!
So he wasn't acting weird. I guess he's already looking nervous and I didn't realize that. Okay, hold on. So he's quiet here. Yeah, he looks nervous, but I guess he was already like that. Okay. It's impossible to make their last run of the day pay. I was so cold, it was all I could do to stop myself passing out. I'm getting chilblains just listening to you. What are all these freaking words, man? Chilblains. A condition that causes inflamed, swollen patches and blistering on the hands and feet. Alright. Maybe something to do with, like, frostbite. Huh. It was terrible, so I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Stumped Gamers! Hello. Can we get a shout out for Stumped Gamers, please? Welcome in, everyone. So glad to have you. Thank you so much for that raid. Stumped! Who was streaming? Who was streaming? Looks like y'all were doing possibly games and demos? What were y'all up to? Who was streaming today? Anna and Jazzy? Just Anna, just Jazzy? Who's doing the things today, y'all? Welcome in, Grizzy. Welcome everybody. If any of y'all are new in here from the raid, my name is Bishi. We are currently playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I am in chapter 3. Having a lot of fun voice acting all these different characters, and a lot of them are British, so I'm doing a really several terrible British accents, so just bear that in mind. I'm doing my best. Thanks so much for the follow line. Thank you. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I appreciate that raid. Oh, posture check. I guess. My posture was pretty good. I could sit up a little more. Maybe. That. I suppose. I could do that. I'm gonna take a sip, too. Nobody told me to, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah, welcome in, y'all. I do have a little channel trailer I could show y'all that could very well show off all of the fun times we have here. It's about a minute long. I'll be right back. Enjoy. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. Exorcism, 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 exorcise that bitch! Exorcise that bitch! That frickin' frat boy poisoned my pee-pee. Here's some lapis.
No!
Oh, I'm alive, I'm alive! Oh!
Let's get back to monster f***ing. Show us your meat! Show us your meat! Show us your meat!
You grow up to be one of two things. A dad or a daddy. Hello everyone, I'm Bishi. That's me! I'm a big fan of Yakuza, I love Zelda, Ace Attorney, obviously. I'm starting Super Mario Galaxy for the first time this Saturday, actually. I also love Mario games, but yeah, this will be my first time playing Galaxy. My sound effects were turned off, but they're back on now if you want to do that again. Sorry. But yeah, I'm having a wonderful time playing Ace Attorney. Welcome in, everybody. I'm thankful for the raid. Hopefully whoever was streaming pops in. But either way, I appreciate it. Very, very kind of y'all. Whoever it was, I appreciate you. Yes, Mario Galaxy. Long anticipated playthrough. I'm excited to start it. It's gonna be super cute. I already love the Luma very much. We have a Luma plushie already, even though I haven't played it. 'Cause I love them. I don't need to play the game to love the Luma. Alright, we're gonna get back to Ace Attorney here. Gonna keep going. Let's see. It was terrible. So I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. And then they look the same. Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger? You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night. Then we would have had another suspect. Alright. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4?
Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir.
And I just told you that I did.
A flat fare of 5 pence across the board.
It's not something to be proud of. A so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone, dead and buried. Might have been happy if it had ever existed in the first place.
He fiddled us on the fare, he did, and then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
Several Luma plushies. Yes, indeed. Several of them. I remember a long time ago, way back, I made Ruuuvo a Luma plushie as a present, and we still have that one. And then for me and Ruuvo's wedding, we actually made little plushie Lumas for people to take and left them on the table as like party favors. Still have two, so cute! Yeah, Ruuuvo made all of those. We made a lot of stuff for our wedding. We did a lot of DIY. But I think those were a nice little touch. It's very, very cute. Had our little Lumas, because our wedding was star-themed, astrology. So we had a lot of like space stuff and stars, so the Luma just kind of fit in. And we love plushies, so we had to do that. And we also, instead of a bouquet, we actually threw a Luma plushie that had a little veil on the back of it. So someone had to catch a little plushie instead of a bouquet. So it was a plushie toss, which again is right up our alley. It was perfect for us, so yeah.
Wait, y'all are married?
Oh my god, they were housemates. Oh my god, they were housemates. Alright. This blood-curdling sight. You mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir.
A loathsome sight. No one should have to witness the horror in the eyes of a man with the moment his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir. I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed.
Okay, so that's pretty important, right? Plushie toss is so cute. I gotta do that for my wedding. Yeah, we felt like it was a better thing to do than a bouquet toss. We just thought it was perfect for us. Yeah. And we definitely didn't come up with it. I think we saw other people doing that, like on the internet and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, it was perfect for us. And if you want to take that idea and run with it, then feel free. I have to write down information right now. Let's see. So, this third witness says he didn't see the exact moment. All right. Hey, Chris, welcome in. They're just two friends who had a friend ceremony. No big deal. That's what historians would say. They were just friends. Meanwhile, they spent their entire life together, every waking moment, and smooched a lot. They exchanged friendship rings and said really nice words to each other, and all their friends and family were there, but they were just friends. So terrible. Oh, yeah, Bipolar Molar, you got a sub from Caramel. I've been writing my final research project with you all in the background. Getting my degree is so close. Oh, you're almost there. You're almost there. Just a preemptive congratulations. It's coming soon. You're doing good. Yes, the best of friends. So much smooching. Oh. May 11th is coming up soon. What month is it? It's May! Oh my god. Yeah, next week. Congratulations. As an official friend, trademark, I approve of your official friendship, trademark, with Ruuuvo, trademark. And you know why it's trademarked? Because there's a command for it and everything. There you go, Ruuuvo. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Had a little bit of a stressful day before stream, but streams are always a nice distraction from the stressors of daily life, so Glad to be here playing some games and hanging out with y'all. Having a really good time with Ace Attorney. There's been a lot of good moments today. The Revenge of May the 5th. Revenge. Alright, let's get revenge on these witnesses for lying to us. Okay, so he didn't actually see the moment he was stabbed. Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker has already testified to it. The Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant. I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, see? That's when I looked through the glass. That's when I saw that horrible blade poking out from his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. Oh no. Just trying to eat a little steak. Oh! Trying to put butter on his bread. Oh my god! Oh. Oh, hope tomorrow's better. Thank you. I hope so too. Oh, I keep getting fun old YouTube video recommendations of you and Ruuuvo at cons from years ago on suggested videos. Oh my goodness. Those videos are so old. I can't even go back and watch them. It's that thing of like, you from years ago, you can't stand. I don't know if anybody else experiences that. But you know, people like to watch them and I still get comments on them, so I don't want to like take them down or anything. It's memories, you know. We were having a good time. We did a lot of like fun cosplay videos back in the day. We still have, like the last time we went to a convention, but you know, I don't think I really uploaded a lot of them. I think I posted them to Twitter mostly. But yeah. Anyway, good times. Good cute times with my beloved. All right, let me see. I was gonna do something. Was I gonna take a note? I think I wrote down what I need to write down. I think I'm good. Okay. I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. So, okay, yeah. So this is next.
Hold it!
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGilded, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? It was bothering me before, this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a fifth passenger, but as yet, zero evidence. And what are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty. Nobody's acting weird, right? Okay. Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was. Okay, so there's something suspicious about what he just said. And then he's saying, I think so he doesn't. Oh, I didn't mean to go forward. I wanted to go back. Not long ago, this trial very nearly came to an end. Somehow, we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light. If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful, as they did before. Maybe. We can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information. Yes, you're so right. You're so right, bestie. I need to pay careful attention here. I don't want to miss even a flicker of a reaction among these witnesses. Yeah, I feel like maybe Hat Boy was reacting. Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason. Okay. So, he's scared. The thing is, like, they do change their expressions as everyone's talking. Okay. Yeah, so he's just in the same position he was a second ago. I think they're gonna be reacting to when they're actually talking, because this change in animation is because I'm going through all the dialogue. So I'm gonna press him again.
Hold it!
And check if anyone's reacting to what he says, because he's saying some kind of a contradiction right now. So, you saw the defendant stabbing the victim who was sitting next to him. That's what I said, isn't it? The moment he hesitated. There's only the two of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? Man's guilty. Something about his testimony jars. Okay. I guess let me press the old man. I haven't pressed him yet. Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Oh, yes. Yes, that's right. You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip. Okay, so these two witnesses are contradicting each other. That's what's going on here. The old man says that he was on the floor, and the banker says he was sitting next to him. All right, so this is where the discrepancy came up. So old man saw victim on the floor, and banker saw victim next to killer. All right, that's the contradiction, I believe. I don't know what we're gonna do with it yet. There were two inside the carriage, and then there was two on the top of the carriage. There's seats above. So they were both on top of it, and there's a skylight, and they can look down and see what happened. I thought it was weird too. I was like, huh? What's going on? But yeah, it's like a double-decker bus. If the hat guy's normal behavior is fidgeting, then sitting still is odd. Yeah. I guess I have to wait until one of them actually changes as they're speaking when I press them. It's kind of specific like that, I think. Do you want backseating? A little thing I was gonna mention. I don't mind if people tell me kind of like Easter egg kind of things. But if it's to help me figure out what the answer is, I'd rather not, because I want to try to figure it out for myself. Sometimes I do directly ask for help because I'm stuck, but I'm not stuck right now. I'm just kind of going through the game. But yeah. So it depends on what you want to say. But if it's like to help me figure out what's going on, probably not. And if you aren't sure, you could tell my mod Ruuuvo what you want to say, and then they can give their advice on if you should say it. Oh yeah, so what I was saying about the carriage is that there are two inside and two on the top, because there's two benches up there, and they can see what's going on inside the cabin with a skylight. So that's how there's 4 people, but only 2 inside the actual bus. There are 2 on the top. Okay, where was I? Okay, so you said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip, specifically. Okay. Okay. I suppose I might have, you know, yes, put the cart before the horse, maybe. What's this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Then, when I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. Well, the murder had already happened at that point. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. I don't think that makes sense. He died in his seat. He wasn't on the ground. Oh, and he's missing a button. I just noticed that. He's missing a button. Evidence. The victim is missing a button. Unless he's so poor, he couldn't replace the button, but I don't know. Maybe the button will pop up somewhere, you know? Okay, but yeah, he did not die on the floor. Alright. That's right, yes, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes. So, in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. And then that's also important. So the only person who saw the murder was the banker, but I'm pretty sure he's lying because he has a reason to. So only person who quote unquote saw the murder was Banker. I really thought that I did, but when I could go over it again in my head, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing, did I? Okay, yeah, so it's very obvious when they're having a reaction. It's been a while. I was like, how obvious or subtle is this gonna be? Yeah, so they even have an exclamation point, so I don't need to be checking them every time someone says something. It's just gonna show me immediately. All right, so pursuit.
Excuse me.
Wait, yeah. Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking.
He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Eh?
Like that voice. Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Some days are like that. It'd be like that sometimes. That's basically what I just said. Some days are like that. No chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus, that is. Right. Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a Ballarat day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar there, my lord. I would ask that you supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw. Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. All right. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Ooh. Ooh. You messed up. You messed up, Fairplay. He was wearing gloves. You fool! Beppo isn't the fool, it's Fairplay the fool. Alright, so now I can present. I am pretty sure of myself, but I'm saving anyway. Alright. Anna! Hello! How you doing, Anna? Are you responsible for the raid earlier? I was waiting to see if Stumped would pop in and let me know what was going on. I didn't see what game y'all were playing. It just said, I think, games and demos. Let me know what was going on. Unless it wasn't you. I don't know. I am. Okay. All right. What were you doing? Thank you so much for that raid, Anna. I super duper appreciate it. Very sweet of you. Had to get my burrito. No worries. No worries. No, it's fine. I know y'all gotta grab your snacks after stream. I myself am getting pretty hungry right now, so I might have to stop stream soon. Anyway. But yeah, no worries. Slay the Princess! Oh my god. I've seen everything from Slay the Princess that's out right now. I've watched full playthroughs of the demos. I haven't played it myself, but I've watched like all the different routes and everything. And it's still just demos right now, but I can't wait for the full thing to come out. I keep getting like mad, but I know why. I keep getting mad when I realize that it's just the demo I'm watching when I watch someone else play it. So I'm like, no, I want to see what happens. Like, it keeps doing cliffhangers. I'm like so frustrated. I just want them to release the game, but good games take time. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm ready to see the finished product, you know, but yeah, it looks so fun. I'm glad you had a wonderful time. In the UK, we still call our judges my lord instead of your honor. Didn't know if you knew that. Really? My lord! Just different. Just a different place. Can't wait. It was a blast. Yeah, I can't wait until they finish it. I think they actually won some awards for their demo. Not even the fully finished thing yet. At a recent event. I think in the last few months or something. But yeah, I know everything about Slay the Princess. It looks amazing. It looks great! I love the art for it. My lord! I'm trying to think of a joke, but I can't. I'm trying to think of something funny! So specific. Oh, I got it. he's slaying, my lord, instead of he's slaying, your honor. There you go. All right. Do you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Oh wait, so I can press or I can present. So let me press, and then I'm pretty sure I need to present the gloves. Blood-soaked? Well, perhaps soaked is laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. And you saw that from the roof? Through the skylight? Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view. And there was a lamp on inside the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure of what I saw. This banker's latest statement. I feel sure there's something not quite right about it. I know what it is. When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruhodo, that's when you should have a good look through the court record. I know. Okay, so then this is something I've seen already. We reached the end of the testimony, so now they're doing their little spiel. I've already seen it. They're in love, my lord. Alright, so the last statement, we're going to present the gloves. I got this. There we go. Fair play is enough of a joke. You needn't come up with your own. Yeah, a lot of the characters' names are punny or some kind of joke. Pretty much every single person. I think it's pretty rare when they don't have a joke name, but that's always the fun part of it, is trying to figure out what the pun is or what the joke is for their name. And sometimes it's not obvious until, like, the end of the case, you know? Alright, leather gloves. My lord. Perhaps even melody? No, no. I hate it. I hate it. Alright, present the gloves.
Objection.
Objection. Blood-soaked hands? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them covered. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar. What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove. Ah. So, oh my god, he's chomping! He's chomping! I'll just let him have a little snack, you know? We all get hungry sometimes. Alright, that's enough. That's enough snacking for you. In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent. Yeah! But, no, that can't be right.
So you're the liar here, then?
Ah! More snacking.
That's right. You were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands.
Grr! Inconceivable. Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth? I'm so hungry. It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one. But the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
Objection.
That's not what we're going for here. No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands. Baby girl, yeah, Mr. Vampire Prosecutor Man. Which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Gah! Why? I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't prevaricate. He's claiming to have no reason to lie. But is that really the case? Nope.
has a very good reason to lie, actually. Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, we could turn the tide in this trial completely. Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony. I have evidence. Right here.
My lord. Yes, counsel? The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony. Gah! Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court. It's right here. Present.
Take that!
Take that, punk! This is a list of the debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded. Yes, a list of innocent victims, crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worthy of being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money. What did you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, and yeah, he's not just going to jail, he's gonna die. So, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Yep.
Cease to exist?
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw, in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? Go! Yells in British. Order! Order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right. Now let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on McGilded's hands, both of them.
Objection!
And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. He probably saw the murderer. He saw the real murderer's hands. So you keep saying. I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both of his hands, not just one. What? What? Yeah, but like, we have the gloves as evidence, and there's no blood on both of them. Okay, so, the two witnesses insist there was blood on both hands, but glove only has one. Okay. It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes.
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
Yes. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. All right.
Okie dokie.
What the witnesses really saw. All right. I think I will actually be calling it here. I think that's a pretty good stopping point. And I am incredibly hungry. So I'm gonna end stream so I can go have some dinner. I will be continuing this next week. Go ahead and switch over here. I usually like to stop stream between like actual big moments in the story, but we're a little bit over time here, and I am hungry, so let's just stop there. All right. I have a feeling as to what it might be, but gonna stay quiet in case I'm wrong. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's about that time. Time for Din Din for Bishin, yes. But yeah, like I said, I'll be playing more of this game next Thursday and Friday, should be. I won't be back tomorrow for streams, but I will be back on Saturday with a bonus PNG Tuber stream, and I'll be playing Mario Galaxy for the first time, so I hope y'all can tune in and hang out with me then. But either way, thank y'all very, very much for hanging out today. I super appreciate it. Thank you for the subs today, thank you for the follows, and for the raid. I appreciate y'all very much. If you were lurking, I appreciate you too. Yeah, let me find somebody to raid. Yes, good night, everybody. Good night, good night. There's my social media there. I am most active on Twitter and YouTube. We also have a Discord if you're not already in there. And there are the raid messages if you want to join in with us. I highly recommend giving 8th a follow. He is a wonderful streamer, very, very fun. And like I said, is playing through Resident Evil 4, which I also love. So let's go do a raid. But either way, I'll be back on Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time with Mario Galaxy. But I hope I see y'all soon, but I will definitely see y'all next time. Bye!